full MVNO.
Okay.
That operates in multiple markets. That's a full MVNO pretty well everywhere.
Okay, got it.
For the rest of them, for example, they are using the host MNO SIM. So that if they to switch providers, they will need to do a SIM swap. And that, of course, that there's obviously fairly obvious risks associated with that. Having said that, there's like I know, you're aware of a MASIM.
Yes.
In this market, yeah. So they, after their first 5-year contract, they were they did go out to market and actively looked around, but they obviously in the end decided to stay with Optus and re-signed with Optus. And I think there's a lot of factors going into that. And I think not a question you've asked yet, but I'm sure it's probably valid. In terms of point about to make, Telstra's still seen even in the wholesale environment as a premium network provider. So if you're some MVNOs probably less, care less about that, but there are some MVNOs who absolutely believe that if you're a Telstra MVNO, you've got a premium product, and therefore your customers are willing to pay a premium over and above if you're a reseller of, say, Vodafone or Optus.
Got it. Okay, that's helpful. So I just want to come back to the full MVNO thing. So so you said that means that they're on their own platform, and for them to then move it's easier. There doesn't need to be a SIM swap. So how difficult is it to be a full MVNO? Is it, and what sort of the requirements in order for that versus just being an MVNO that doesn't have its own platform?
Sure. So if you're a full MVNO, you have your own core network. So that's effectively your own HLR, your own switching. You have your own interconnect agreements. You have your own roaming agreements. You basically do everything yourself. You're a fully licensed carrier, and actually, you've got to manage all of those core network elements yourself. And all you're actually doing is you're purchasing access to the radio network, so the base station network. Okay.
Do they own spectrum, or are they using the spectrum of the?
No, they use the spectrum of the carrier.
Okay, got it. Okay, but they
have. They don't need to.
They have the relationships for interconnect and the roaming, and that bit makes sense to me.
In the old days, you had your sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
You had your own MSC, and then you had the BSC being the base station control. I'm talking 3G terminology here. So you had your sort of your base station network, if you like, and as a full MVNO, your core would have to plug into the BSC. Just think about the radio network.
Yes.
All the base station network. So that's a little bit different under LTE. There's different names for that, but it's effectively the same concept. Interesting.
So there is so a lot of what you said sounds to me like there's a bit of contract and sort of relationships that need to be set up, but there's also sort of software and what also sounds like a little bit of hardware too. So presumably it's, is it quite capital intensive to sort of set up this sort of MSC and have all of that stuff sort of going?
It used to be.
Okay.
It used to be very expensive. So and you were typically reliant on some of the the bigger vendors for that sort of equipment. These days, a lot of it can be software based, and you can install a MSC in a data center in the cloud. So and I've been to conferences recently where I've actually seen a core network operate out of effectively a briefcase. So and sort of at the very, very low end of the market, for between 100 and 200,000 US, you could get a full core net. You get a core network, and that could be for an operator or a platform developer for out of Eastern Europe or something like that. You could